Hugo here, Hugo's Junk. I just wanted to clear it up a little bit. I got confused. I was changing a motor from a two-piece seal, rear main seal engine, which was 85 and down. And then I went to an 86 and up. It was actually an 86 Camaro Vortec motor. I was using a Muncie 4-speed out of a 68 Chevelle, and when I went to put the flywheel on, it didn't fit. I was very confused because I'm used to really old motors. I guess I'm an old man. And I couldn't figure out why that the hole on the crank for the 86 and up motor was much smaller. And the flywheel from the older generation motor would not fit. Then come to find out that the 86 and up is a one-piece seal motor, and the 86 and down is a two-piece seal, which 86 and down, meaning 85 and down, is a balanced internally motor. 85 and up, meaning 86 and up, is an externally balanced motor. So that's a good thing to know, unless you're running a stroker, that the 86 and up motor is externally balanced by the harmonic balancer and the flywheel. As the 85 and down older style motors were internally balanced, and you can run a neutral balanced flywheel and a neutral balanced harmonic balancer. So this is a flywheel for an 85 and down. This is the flywheel for an 86 and up. I don't know if you can tell the difference, but the one is definitely smaller than the other. This is much bigger. This one is much smaller. It's hard to tell by looking at it on camera. So you actually have to run a different flywheel for the motor. This one, as you can tell, has no balancing weights on it whatsoever, which I did not know at all. This one is for the 86 and up, and as you can see right there, has a huge weight on the flywheel. GM decided to start, after 85, started externally balancing their motors because it was less time and less money to internally balance their engines up until that point. They saved more money by just balancing the flywheels and the harmonic balancers and not having to internally balance them. They saved more money. So anything from 85, two-piece seal and down is internally balanced. Anything from 85 and up is externally balanced, unless you are building a 383 stroker with a stock 400 crank. Or, well, if you have a internally balanced crank, which is an aftermarket forged crank, then it's a different story. But you'll know right away when you look at the crank, there'll be slugs drilled in it. There'll be holes drilled in it with metal slugs that are usually tungsten to balance the crank. If you're using a stock 400 crank, you need to externally balance the motor. Again, because of the weight of the longer stroke of the rods, it makes the motor out of balance. So even though it's an internally balanced crank, you still have to externally balance it with some sort of balanced harmonic balancer or flywheel. From what I've been told, I'm not 100% sure on that because I had to deal with that. I have a 383 stroker, but the crank was internally balanced, and I used a neutrally balanced flywheel and harmonic balancer. Did not have a problem. At first, I was having problems with the old motor I had, which was a stock 400 crank with the longer rods. It needed to be externally balanced. I had a bad vibration around 3,500, $3,000 on up. Anything below that, it was fine. That's a whole nother story. So basically, 85 and down, internally balanced. Flywheels are different, but they do that on purpose. The center hole is bigger on the internally balanced, so you can't put an externally balanced flywheel on the internally balanced motor. It just won't fit, and vice versa. The bolt pattern and the hole in the center on the internally balanced motors from 86 and up, like the Vortec motors, will not fit. But you can put an internally balanced one-piece seal crank in a one-piece seal block, if that's all you have to deal with, like I did. I have a block that's done, had cracked, but it was a 383 stroker with a forged crank, pistons and everything. I put new pistons in it, but all I had was a one-piece seal block. Now, I didn't think that was going to work. I did a little looking around on the internet and found out that they make a piece for the back of the block to turn it into a one-piece seal or two-piece seal, so that the two-piece seal crank will fit, because the two-piece seal crank and the one-piece seal crank, if you've ever seen one, are different. I know a lot of people are like, well, why would you go to a two-piece seal when one-piece seal is better? But that's what I have with. That's what I have. That's what I deal with. That's what I'm dealing with. But they make a piece for like $200 where you take the end cap, it turns it into, from a one-piece seal into a two-piece seal. It all lines up. You can use a two-piece seal crank and a one-piece seal block and make it work. Which, if that's what you have and it works, it's in good shape, then why wouldn't you? $200 is a lot cheaper than trying to find another block that's in really good shape, board, whatever you want to do to it. That's what I had, and that's what I did, and it worked out fine. So I was just basically here to say that one piece, two piece, they are interchangeable with a little bit of work, and the difference is basically the end cap or the end standout on the back of the crank, that round piece where the flywheel sits on. The two-piece crank is much bigger. The one piece is much smaller. The bolt patterns are a little closer together. Usually once you take off the flywheel anyway, you know if it's a one piece or a two piece seal, because a one piece seal, it's got a little plate up towards the one side of the oil pan that unbolts, and you can see the one piece seal, where a two piece seal block looks totally different. So I don't know if that helps anybody, but I just thought I'd put it out there, and because I was confused as hell when I tried to put my two-piece seal flywheel on a one-piece seal motor, and I was like, well, what the hell's going on here? And then I spent a lot of time on the internet looking around, and I figured it out. So there is difference. Chevrolet changed it, and I'm a Chevy man, and I still didn't know that, and figured it out, and just thought I'd share it with you guys, and I hope it helps, and don't drive you crazy. If you have any questions or anything, let me know. And 86 and up, two-piece, 86 and down, 86 and up, one piece, 86 and down, one piece. Yeah. Chevy's, most of their stuff is interchangeable. You just have to read about it and figure out what you can change and what you can't. Most of it's interchangeable. You just have to buy the adaptation for it. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it, and hope I didn't waste your time. Later.